And so the only thing that happened after that is when we saw a few trucks being launched with food being launched at the State House, and that was the end of the story. But I think there is a sense of thinking in this country and in the region that when it comes to drought and national disasters like drought, that it is the international community that should help, and that governments play a very limited role. They declare a national emergency and then they expect NGOs and other organizations to come and support. And I think this should not be the case. I think every nation should take the lives of its citizens seriously. With a country that has a budget of up to $30 billion expenditure annually, Kenya, 3.3 trillion. There's no reason why we should be budgeting, and you saw that in the budget this financial year coming.
Yes.
1.5 billion for people in those affected by drought, and that kind of situation really is not acceptable. And part of the blame, in my view, is really on the county governments in those regions, because they have a responsibility to provide food from their budgets. They have contingencies. They have ministries that are responsible for it. They have the funding. So the county should not allow, and when there's a disaster like this, the first thing that those counties, Mandera and all those ones, should have done is call an emergency meeting of their county assembly and reallocate funds from infrastructure, reallocate funds from other non-priority projects to drought. And it's not happening. In fact, you'll be surprised that in the last 6 months or more, none of, not none actually, all the county assemblies in those regions, particularly this one affected by this drought, none of them have even met to discuss this matter. Forget about meeting to reallocate or those resources. Everyone is busy on politics, and I think so the oft repeated thing in Kenya is that this is the work of counties. The government, don't blame the national government, but I think the president, as the leader of the nation, in the same way he calls them and talks to them about politics, he needs to call them and tell them, you guys, go and provide food. You have the money to your people. And